also talk a lot about your word and its value. Help us understand what you mean by that.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I lived in dangerous places, dangerous homes, juvenile halls. I was thrown in jail a lot. I lived on boys' ranches. I lived in some pretty crazy places. And so I lied to survive. And I also lied to impress people and make people think I was something that I wasn't, or that I had things that I didn't have. As a teenager, I was using drugs on a regular basis, so I lied all the time. I lied about where I was, I lied about what I did, I lied about whether I was high or not. I was always lying. And something diminishing was happening to me as a result, and I could feel it. There was something very unnerving about watching people be able to just be themselves, and then to feel like I had to be a person that couldn't reveal who I really was. And I got to a point in my life when I sobered up where I realized that I had to be honest. I didn't want to be that way anymore. I had to be a different person. And so I started doing what I could to tell the truth, but before I could actually do that, I had to dig deep down and find out what the truth was, because I didn't know. Because not only was I lying to the people around me, but I was lying to myself. After I had told some lies for a certain amount of time, I actually started to believe them. I didn't know my parents. And so I made up the story that my dad was a commander in the Navy and that my mother was French. I had no idea who my parents were, but I actually started to believe that story. And I realized that I was completely out of touch with reality in a lot of ways. But my honesty describes who I am. And being an honest person started to give me this value. And after I dug and dug and dug for years, and I did a lot of journaling and a lot of looking back and a lot of talking to people to help me figure out what the reality was, I was able to separate what happened to some degree from my story. And my story started out as this sad, miserable, self-pitying story. And the reality was something very different. And so I was able to look at all these things that happened to me or that were happening in my environment, and I started looking at them as blessings. It was the universe shaping me and tempering me and turning me into something better. So I got to the point where I could tell the truth about me and not care what people thought, because there was something more important going on than what people thought about me. And I became a much more honest person. I do believe that when we keep our word, something happens to us where we grow and become more of a human being than we would be if we didn't keep our word. I also believe that you can create miracles by keeping your word. And what I mean by a miracle is something that in the normal course of events would never have happened. And so if I'm the kind of person that keeps my word and I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So if I say I'm going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, which in the normal course of events would never happen, I'm actually going to do it because I am the kind of person that keeps his word. And I will say I don't keep my word all the time, but I'm really, really careful about what I say. And I try my best to do what I say I'm going to do. And what I find is that I usually keep my word. I don't always do it when I say I'm going to do it, because there's just the universe that says, no, you're not. But there's something about lying that's diminishing to the human spirit. There's something about being authentic that makes me feel whole, and I kind of fit in just right. So my word is really valuable to me. Hi, I'm Ed Mitchell, CEO of Intent One. We really appreciate you taking time out to learn from our content. If you're interested in more, you can find us at intentone.net. Thanks so much. We appreciate you.